Welcome back to another episode.
To another episode of A Little Bit Lit.
Welcome.
Okay, we've got a confession to
Okay.
make, team. We had an interview
What's in
planned.
your hair?
Just like strips of fabric.
It's adorable.
You
Are you got
judge
two
it?
little buns up here? No.
I've got like little.
What do you mean? Because I would love to do those, but I don't know if I've got enough hair.
These are only like a little bit of hair, like a tiny little bit. We come over and do your hair, and then I just tied some fabric to it because I
Absolutely.
felt like it just felt like my hair was a bit bleh because I washed it, and then I was like, oh, if I just stick colour in it, it'll look fine. So
I make the mums at the gym braid my hair because I can't. I'm the youngest of three, so I never had to learn anything because my sisters just did it for me. So I sit down at the gym, I take my comb, I take my little hair ties, and I make them braid my hair because I can't do anything with that.
That's hilarious. I don't know how to braid it. So
Okay,
we had
tell
a
the
confession.
gang.
We were so organized, guys. Like we had a full planning day. We hopped on early. We were all ready to go for this interview with this lovely, wonderful Kiwi author. And there was just a global outage on some online servers. It must have dropped like between me hopping on and Sam hopping on because I hopped on. I'm in the studio, ready to go, looking through the camera shot, being like,
Makeup
Oh,
done,
my coat
hair done, notes
feeling
ready.
great. Notes ready. And Sam keeps going, oh no, I get this video call. Oh no, I'm getting 502 refresh. Oh, I'm getting 50 get me. And then we realized that there's a website you can go to. I think it's something along the lines of It's Not Just Me or something like that. And it turned out that it was just out globally. And this author said this happens all the time for the business that she used to work for a massive global international company. And she said, yeah, it's just nice to not be on the receiving end of the abuse this time. That's the outage. So we've pivoted.
Hard. And it's
That's
just
where
us
we are.
today, but I have planned an entire episode for you all. First of all, I just wanted to say we very appreciative that people even want to listen to us yet. We are trying to move towards a bit of a focus in the next couple of episodes. We're having a couple of authors on so we can talk to them about their new releases, about their processes, about indie versus trad, and kind of ask all those questions that, like, what is your real name? How do you make up an author name? What dictates a good author name? So my first question today, Tamara, to you, to open up the floor, what would your author name be?
If I didn't want it to be like recognized as me, maybe Ian Donnelly.
I was
Is
thinking
that going to get me fraud?
you
Is
give
that my
off-
fraud?
you're just Mara. One name, no surname, like Madonna.
Do
like
not
Beyonce,
give
like
Madonna, Selena,
Mara.
Beyonce. No, I do not
Mara.
get that energy. No, I think I would do it. And yeah, my maiden name, probably. What about you? What would your author name be?
I have a beautiful middle name that never gets used.
You
because
do. I
it's a
love
middle name. And
your
those
middle name.
Those middle names are just, and again, this is my controversial, childless opinion. Middle names, the only purpose they have is to honor dead people. And that's basically, everyone's got their grandmother's name or, that's how I feel
My
about middle
kids have
names. They
my
have no
name
real
as a
purpose in
middle
life.
name. My kids' middle names are my names because their dad and I picked their first name. They get their last name, and I fucking birthed them, so they have my name as their middle names.
Sister, you
variations.
birth them or name them after
Exactly.
yourself. But my middle name
I
is...
Lorelai'd my kids.
I love Lorelai. My middle name is Nairi, and I love that name. So I would go Nairi, and then my last name Robbins, Nairi Robbins. So that people will go,
Yeah.
Robbins, is that, like not identifiable, but I also love it's
Yeah.
spelled Ngaire. It looks beautiful on the page.
Yes.
And it was my
It's
grandmother's
such a
name.
beautiful name.
Beautiful
Yeah.
name, never get to use it.
I don't know why they didn't call you Nairi instead of Samantha. No offense,
I
Karen.
wish, no offense.
But
So
Nairi would have been a great name. And I feel like you sued it. Like, I feel like
I
you'd sued
love
a Nairi.
Nairi. So I have thought about
Yeah.
real deep saying, you know what, fuck off the first part. We'll just call me Nairi. I'll go by my middle name because I have an aunt, and an estranged aunt that we don't like, but she uses her middle name as her first name. It's always been it. She said her first
My
name
dad does.
is a name. Does he?
Yeah,
Excuse me, your dad's name is Mr. Donnelly. That is his name. It's Mr. Donnelly. I will
I
not
think
be
even
calling
he'd
him
be
Lloyd.
like, I think he'd be like, who are you?
Mr. Donnelly.
It's actually very common.
I'm good about this because I yeah, as we said, my husband having the same name as me, Sam and Sam, very annoying, no longer funny. And I'm not a nickname person, but I think I
We've
like
really
Mary.
tried. My husband does call you Robbo still.
Robbo.
Robbo, you saw Robbo today. I'm like, yeah, I saw Robbo.
So the other thing I wanted to ask you this is a conversation I had with my husband last night, and I wanted your input because you have children and we do not. So we were across at the school. We live across from a school, and we were on the field and we let our dog exercise there. We have a lunge line, which is basically a really long lead so that if a kid comes, he doesn't chase them. We just reel him in. So he went off on his lunge line and he started rubbing his face on something. And like, if a dog's rubbing his face in something, what do you, Mara, as a dog owner, what do you think he's rubbing it in?
Something dead or fecal matter of sorts.
That's shit. It's always shit, right? And so he's really going for it. And I'm like, yuck, it's dog shit. And then my husband, who is 31 years old, he has no children. He does have nieces, goes, it won't be dog shit. It's kid shit. And so my question to you is, do kids shit on the field at school?
No.
So I go,
emphatically
shit.
No.
But let me hear you his point, and his point is very good. Dogs smell dog
Still
shit.
with him, so I'm a little concerned by where this is going.
Dog shit is everywhere, and dogs always sniff it. They might pee on it, but they don't often rub in dog shit. Like it's normally something dead or it's something gross. So I think, okay, well, maybe it's not dog shit and it is kid shit.
What if the dog was in heat and then it like coats a scent on? You know how they just find little bunches of grass and like, you know how when a dog's in heat, it has like a smell to it or whatever? And does that not come out in its poo?
I do know, but it's not really a thing. So then I said to him, well, I certainly didn't shit on.
Sometimes licks
I didn't shit on a field at school.
bits of the grass and like, you know, he's sniffing in there and I think, can he smell
That's usually when they've weed on it. So usually another dog has weed on it and they're sniffing it. So then I said, I've never shat on the lawn. Sometimes they roll on wee, but it was definitely poo because he's white and he had a lovely brown smear. So we're walking out and I'm like, no, I never shat on the lawn at my primary school. Did you? And he was like, no, but what happens?
No shat on the field at school.
He was like, you have a little poo, you flick it out in your undies, and and I said, it's too open. It's open wide. Like, no one is doing that. So I believe that my husband has shat on a field because that sounds so fucking rogue.
That sounds very thought out. I'm going to out myself here. And this probably, again, reason number 577 why my parents did not get me tested for some kind of brain thing. When I first started primary school, I went to this small town country primary school before I moved to Pornicky. And I was too scared to ask to go to the toilet when I needed to go to the toilet. I just had this crippling anxiety as a kid. And I remember holding until I could not hold anymore. And I would often poo my pants at school. It was just a big anxiety thing. It was just a thing. Point, my oldest sister had change of clothes. And when I say this was a small school, we had new entrants to year 4 in one class and years 5 to 8 in another class. So I was in a class with my sister and she would just shuffle back and be like, do you need the change of clothes? I'd be like, yeah. And it just was this crippling thing. Like I just could not go and ask to go to the toilet. It was a massive fear that I had. I still have really bad public toilet anxiety as a fully grown adult, but I never once did I flick it on the field. And I went to a country school. I would have got away with it. But yeah, no, as a poo pants girl, it's a new entrant. Poo pants girl, crippling anxiety. No, I did not flick it out of my undies onto the field.
So the other option, which is a friend of the podcast, it is not myself. Before you think this is me, got home from work and didn't have their keys and was locked out of their house and needed to go poo. And they live somewhere, there's no public toilets nearby, and they have a dog. So they were like, I'm just going to shit on the lawn and just say it's dog poo. I'm just going to shit on the lawn. It looks like dog poo. And that's what they did. They shat on the lawn.
Did this?
And they shat on the lawn. It was nothing. They shat on the lawn and then, moved on with their lives. And then when their husband picked up the dog poo, see, this is not me because I pick up the dog poo in my house, picked up the dog poo, they picked up her shit as well. So I get needing to shit. But that was in the privacy of your backyard. This is the middle of a field. So I'm not sure,
Kids
but I would
aren't
like to know
doing that.
if anyone's kids have shat in a public open space, flicked it out their undies, or has my husband done it and that's where it's come from. I think he's
I
shat
think
them all.
he's done it.
I think
That's
he's shat
so
them all.
oddly specific.
So my cuckoo of the day yesterday was inspired by Mara, who was feeling a bit which is anxious or
Ugh.
nervous. So I thought I'd pick a word today while we're here. Okay, I'm going to flick it,
Where
and you're
was
just going
it?
to say stop. Okay, ready? Wait.
Okay.
Stop. I'm going to need your help pronouncing this. It's grandfather, korua.
Hold it up.
One
a bit
moment.
closer so I can see. Kuroa?
I know quite often I've heard
Koroa.
korowa.
Koroa,
Korowa's
yeah.
grandfather.
Kuroa.
Korowa. My korowa is still alive.
One of mine is.
Korowa. That
Two
is
of
my
mine
cuckoo.
are because I have a step one who I count.
Absolutely. So this is a book podcast about books.
Some say.
Some say. What are you reading?
Okay, actually, I have it here. I am reading The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams at the moment. This is one of the things I'm reading. I'm listening to this. Now, this has got literally, I don't know if you can see this, all these awards. These are all
Can I ask
awards.
you-
And then it's a
Can I ask
Reese's
you a
book
partai?
club. Yeah.
Partai. You are listening to the audiobook, but you
Yes.
have the paperback. Can you talk me through that?
Yes.
Why?
So what I often do is because I have a big
Physical
Because
TBR.
I have a big TBR pile, and sometimes I'm not in the mood for physically reading a book. Like, I don't have a lot of free time at the moment, but I have a lot of moving time, if that makes sense. So I'm driving a lot or I'm walking the dog. I want to be consumed in the story. I will listen to it. And for me, it's how I digest it a little bit better. Often what I do as well is I actually follow along while I'm listening so I can learn new words and enjoy
I love that.
see the words,
Yeah.
see how words are pronounced. But some things are just, when I think it's a book, honestly, where I'm like, oh, it could go either way for me. Like I'm kind of probably
Not sure
judging
if I'm
it
going to like
based on
it.
the
Yeah. Cover.
you know, often we'll go the audio book to give it more of a chance because
Mhm.
for me, audiobooks can be all consuming because you're just really into it. Whereas a book, if I'm going to put it down and keep picking it up, the act of actually getting it can sometimes be a bit of a faff. So I am listening to it. And I want to read a bit out of this book because I don't know if
I was hoping you
I've
would
got
read
it
this
here.
section. So tell them the premise of the book because
Because-
I agree. I'm a judger by the cover, and it looks like, and even the awards put me off. I'm like, that looks too literary. That looks like it's going to be serious.
So basically, this follows the story of Esme, who is a young girl she doesn't have a mum, and I don't know if we find out what even happened to the mum because I've got a little bit left to go. Her dad works in a scriptorium, or they nickname it the Scrippy, and his job is
Scrippy.
to help curate or collate the dictionary. So they're tasked with putting together the dictionary. I've just forgotten what the dad's job title is. It's a lovely word. So they get they get words, and then they verify that they're a word, and then they decide whether it goes in the dictionary. So how it kind of works is if it's been written by a male author, usually the word ends up in the dictionary. If it's something that was written by a female, it's usually not. If it's a colloquial term, it's not. If it's considered vulgar, it's not. So Esme's basically, she's growing up helping her dad in the scrippy. She ends up doing an apprenticeship, and she becomes obviously very passionate about words, and she decides she's going to start collecting words from women, and poor women, not just upper class women. Yeah, and she meets this lovely woman. This is my favorite part, and this is what I told them. She meets this lovely woman named Mabel at the Uncovered Market. And Mabel is as vulgar as they come. She's this old crone who's always hacking up a lung. She's moderately offensive.
Durry out the mouth. Durry out the mouth.
You can smell her from the book.
She's puffing away.
You know, that's the vibe. That's the vibe. But she says the word cunt. And of course, I did not pick up this book thinking I was going to get a full page about the word cunt. But here we are.
I would never have thought.
So Esme's like, hang on, I'm going to write this down. can you put it in a sentence for me? And so Mabel says, I got an itchy cunt. So Esme goes, is it the same as crotch? Bless her, bless her.
Crotch?
And then so Mabel goes, you is dim, lass.
You are
got a
dumb.
cunt. I got a cunt. Lizzie got a cunt. But old Ned over there, he ain't got a cunt. Get it?
You've got a cunt. He's got a cunt. She's got a cunt. Everyone's got a cunt.
Yeah, I love it. It honestly, I was in hysterics, and there's just so many like. Then she's like, she'd said something about Quim, and Mabel goes, "It's the juices, lass. It's the juices." And then what does she say? Quim's your
Q-U-I-E?
proof of yes. Quim's
I'm
just
looking
your
it up.
proof of shame. The likes of us use it just the same as we use cunt. She and her old man are fucking Quims. There's no doubt about. Because
Turtles.
yeah, so well, it's like the juices. So I think Esme puts down vaginal discharge. It's
The old Quim.
definition.
Don't forget to
So-
check your Quim.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
so.
that's
I
cool.
mean, it's actually really good. It's got a good dose of humor in it. It's very interesting. There's a lot of political stuff happening in it, and it's I guess the experience of a young woman in a time where women don't have the vote, and it's women suffragettes are they're protesting, they want the vote.
Yeah.
And she's finding her place in how she is to express that and how she's to support that movement.
How old is she?
And yeah, what that looks like. So it starts off with her as like a toddler. And at the moment, she's in her 30s now.
Cool.
So it just
Quim.
follows
I
her
love
life
that.
and all these different things. Yeah, I thought you'd like Quim. So actually, I think there's a reason this has so many awards, and I think it's one of those books
Right.
that will appeal to many. I'm so glad I picked it up though, and it makes me definitely want to steal that copy of the Bookbinder of Jericho that you're wanting to get rid of, unless you've already got rid of it.
No, I haven't got rid of it. I will hold that for you.
And I'm also reading The Gatekeeper by Kay Wish. I'm loving it.
So, The Gatekeeper is something that I would not have thought you enjoyed. It's a paranormal.
I told Kelly I was reading
Don't
it,
say
and
you liking
she goes, you're gonna hate it. And I was like, stop being so self-deprecating. It's unbecoming. Like, I get
Stop
it, okay.
putting me in a
This
box.
and The Gatekeeper are two I'm not enjoying.
So, quick sidebar. I was at my hand therapy appointment today, and we were talking about how I have too many things, and I'm finding the physio exercises too many things. I'm fucking busy Olympics. And I said, we have a podcast. And she was like, what's it about? And I said, books. And she was like, I'm reading this book about a soldier, and he's come back from Vietnam. It's called Poppies, and he's going to get 6 poppies on his shoulder because he lost his comrades, and it's all about his PTSD journey. And I was
Damn
like,
it. I thought he was
this-
going to lose an arm.
and I was like, you're excited. And I said, that is contemporary women's fiction. And that sounds amazing. And we do cover that in the podcast. But also, it's a lot of dick.
You said that.
Yeah, we've been seeing each other for months. And I said, it's really
Yeah.
great. We've got this good balance. Mara reads contemporary fiction. She actually probably will love that. And then I told her she should read The Woman by Kristen
Yes, she
Hannah.
would love that. That is a great.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I'm
Look at
so
me.
big.
I can help you with that.
I'm so diverse. I've got all these recommendations from you. It's like my
Yes.
sister says, my beautiful sister who is neuronormal, she's like, it's so helpful that you have all these issues, because when my friends are going through things, I'm like, oh, yeah, my sister has depression and anxiety and ADHD and actually a bit of OCD. So I can understand through you. It's so helpful. And I'm like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
That.
I'm out here doing the Lord's work so you
I'll
understand
take
empathy.
commission. I'll take commission. Thank
Every
you.
time you tell them about me and my coping strategies and fob that off, I'm going to require
Coffee.
a donation.
Iced vanilla.
Nice for that. 1 pump. So, yes, we don't
Yeah.
think it's part of your wheelhouse, The Gatekeeper, but tell me why you like it.
Just think that it's the way that Kelly writes is so captivating to me. I think she has a
stop it.
lovely way with words, and I think she's so open to editorial changes that it is the best version of the story, and you're still getting it, in her. You're still getting her story, but it's just this elevated level of it because she's been open to all sorts of feedback. And And I mean, I've seen her, do that. I've seen that process underway, and I know it's really hard to be told, "Oh, that shit." But she
Or
just
you
takes
could
it
say
on the
this better.
chin. Yeah, or she's like, "No, I really like that." And I just think it's amazing to see how far she's come in writing. But for me, as an avid reader, the way she writes has got to this level where it's would read anything from her because I'm just intrigued by it. And I like when I learn I think I'm only about 40% of the way through, I think, maybe 35%. And I've learned what the name of a person who researches butterflies is.
I know.
Because
Just casually.
she used it to describe the butterflies in her stomach, and I thought she said something, call me a what is it called? Hang on. Call me a lepidopterist. Call me a lepidopterist. Fuck, that's a hard word. Anyway, she said, call me that because I have a kaleidoscope of butterflies fluttering in my tummy. And I just thought that is such, as a word hoe, that was, no, and an English hoe. That was such a fantastic way to describe
And I just love
that
thinking that Emmy
feeling.
had known that to look it up. Like she had done it before and gone, oh, what's that word? I'll look it up and then used it because that's what I do all the time. I'm like, oh, what's that word? Oh, I just felt like she was.
Yes. So yes, I'm really enjoying it because I think it's really, really well written. And honestly, Kelly could write a menu and I'd probably read it.
I did get her grocery list in my book. I got her grocery list in my book when she gave it to me. I was like, I've said I'll read your grocery list. And then it came in my copy, tucked in the front.
I love
And I was
that.
like, do you need this? Did you just wing it at the supermarket? Because I've got your grocery list.
I do have a question burning in my head for her that I'm going to save. And I'm not
Perfect.
going to mention now, but there are a few questions that have come to mind while I've been reading the book, and one in particular. But I'm really enjoying it. If you're not a paranormal romance girly, typically give it a crack. What have you got to lose? I think it's on Kindle Unlimited when it comes out. When is it out?
It will be. 1st of October on Halloween.
Oh, it's on Halloween, it's out, and it's going to be available on Kindle Unlimited. You've literally got nothing to lose by giving it a read. It's either for you or it's not going to be for you, but I'm really fucking enjoying it. It's short, it's 200 pages, a little bit spicy. I'm there. I want to wrap this up so I can go do my groceries and then sit in the car and read some more. What have you been reading?
Did I
Oh,
talk
sorry.
last time about this? About
No,
tourist season?
and I need to know about this book. Why am I clapping? Sorry, I'm sorry, I got real loud. Bryn Weaver, author of Shield of Sparrow and Scythe and fuck!
Butcher and Blackbird,
Butcher
Lark
and
and Leather,
Blackbird.
Leather and
Sparrow
Lark,
and
Lark and
Scythe.
Leather, Sparrow and Scythe. So
Sparrow
this
and Scythe,
is
yep.
another serial killer based novel. It's a completely different. No, let me try again.
Well, you get a tidbit of it right in Scythe and Sparrow.
This is set in the world, the same world, but different characters. So it is based in a town called Cape Carnage. There's a serial killer and there's mystery and there's hot interactions, and it's the same style as her other books, and it's just fantastic, but with different characters. What I loved about this book and what I messaged Carwyn reads, and said, because she posted about this book and how good it was, and I said, the amount of times that I rolled over and said to my husband, this person is this person. And he was like, what? And I was like, don't worry about it. And then keep reading. And then I roll back over. Ignore that. I think she's this person. So she's going to be that. Yeah. Yeah. And I roll back over. And then the real Slim Shady showed up. And I was like, I was wrong about everything. Like the twist that I didn't see coming.
So
and she leads you. Yeah, she leads you one way and then you convinced yourself. It is the same fun, gory, which I really enjoyed as well. So it's that, like, there's blood and there's gore, but it's not in a way that's gross or creepy. It didn't make me feel unsafe. So the reason I don't read thrillers is because I'm very sensitive. And like if I'm out walking, like it'll freak me out. This doesn't freak me out. It's fun. It's gory. It's spicy. I really enjoyed the spice, but
was there ass play in this one? Because we dabbled with that in Leather and Lark with Lachlan.
No. And I really wish pegging is something I'm really trying to find in my books that I'm trying to find. And I'm on the hunt for it. I haven't found it. But yes, I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. The reason it didn't get a 5 is because I personally prefer more spice. So like if you're medium spicy, they're 5 for sure. But the sneaky bitch, this is more books are coming. More
Yeah,
books are coming.
I imagine it'll be a trilogy as well.
I had no idea. The title, the way it had been marketed, I did not think. And then when I looked at the spine, there's a 1 on it. There's a 1 on it, so it's not a duology.
No, I heard that it was a spin-off series, and I imagine it's going to be a trilogy. You know, like I feel like authors like that tend to stick to their set sort of amount of
And it's a
book.
bit thicker. So I'm a big fan. It's not,
Cool.
again, it is. So I found Butcher and Brewer's a little bit short for me. This is $3.75.
Butcher and
so it's a perfect
Blackbird.
length. Butcher and Blackbird. Butcher and Brewer. That's
Yeah.
a
That's a
isn't that-
restaurant.
It's a restaurant somewhere. So yes, you should. You should get this if you liked her style of writing. Fantastic, loved it. I did have someone. I'm going to out her because that's what we do here. My sister, so not Nicola. I have another sister, an older sister, Bridget. She didn't like Butcher and Blackbird for the
So
most
many people
ridiculous
didn't.
reason. Do you know why she didn't like it? She said it was unrealistic.
I would hope so. I would hope
Like
it's
there's a
unrealistic.
1,000-year-old fey man with wings floating, fucking around. So yeah, she found it unrealistic.
Hard
So
to escape it. Tell her to try the audiobooks. Because
Yes, I love the
I
audiobook.
listened to the audiobooks for those, and they are. I imagine tourist season is probably done exactly the same. It was done in such a phenomenal way. They had when the characters would sigh, the actors would sigh, and they had overlapping audio, so
yes,
it wasn't
I love that.
just single narration as the male narrator would come in when the male character spoke or the female character would come in. They laughed and the sounds overlapped.
Yes, it wasn't graphic.
really
it wasn't
fun
graphic
way.
audio, but it felt like it. Like there were chains in the
It was-
background.
It was, and I feel like for me as a big audiobook girly, we are getting such an elevated production when it comes to audiobooks nowadays. It used to be just sort of, you know, the books were read, but now they feel performed. It feels like you are watching this story unfold in your
Yeah.
head, which if you are a visual reader, that's what it feels like. It just
Like
brings
she
it all to
sighs.
life.
You know, like she
Yeah.
walks. Instead, you hear them walking, or she actually like
Yeah.
sighs.
I know. Do you know, I haven't listened to the graphic audio for Onyx Storm, and I really need to get into that because those audios are absolutely top.
Keep falling
tier.
asleep. I keep falling asleep. I put it on at night time.
You can
instead
just
of
put it.
reading.
Did
and
you
I
put
keep
on the
falling asleep.
timer?
No, but
Do
I
you
will
put on
try
the
that.
sleep timer? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
then
know
you
how
can
to do
just
that.
go to a chapter. Yeah, and then I'll show you.
The other book I am reading at the moment is, and I waited, slow clap for myself here. I waited for the second book to come out. Thank you. So it is now completed, is The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. It is a duology. It's now completed. It is set in the world of A Serpent in the Wings of Night. It's about Misha.
Misha.
Her writing.
First
Her
book. What was
writing?
the first one in that duology called?
This is the first one.
No, yeah, I have read that then. Where
Yeah,
they go
yeah.
through the. I might need to cut this out in case it spoils it. They go through the different realms to get to.
Oh, how?
Yeah, that one. Cool. And then it
Yes,
ends
that is
on
the
the.
one.
Has the next book come out?
It is out. So I have got them both now. So now I am reading them. I'm just trying to find. There was this really beautiful line that I thought I had bookmarked and I hadn't. Anyway, her writing is fantastic. I think it reminds me of what I like about her writing is that it changes. So she has really short sentences. One sentence, it's dramatic. I can't put it down when I read her book.
It's
so I read it in one
engaging.
sitting.
It's super
engaging.
engaging.
Could not put the book down. What I will say, I found the setting harder to digest than the Crowns
agree.
of Nyaxia. It is on the back,
Yes,
but
I
basically they
agree.
go through the underworld and they go through the 6 levels or something. But this is an underworld that I'm not familiar with. I wasn't.
Yes.
It's new.
Yes.
It's not the underworld as we previously experienced the underworld. The bridge isn't like the boat. You know, quite often in fantasy books, there's a boat and they go over
Yes.
to the souls and there's a
Yes.
ferryman. It's different. So I found that really hard to get my head around.
Same.
And I think you'll agree.
So you
when
read fast. I went slow. I had to go slow because I would have to read a couple of chapters and then I'd have to sit with it. I think it took me a couple of months to read this book because I would sit with it and be like,
That is
what
traumatic
just
to me.
happened?
What I found, and I think you'll agree, when they were coming back to Mothrin, however the fuck that worked, I was so confused.
I didn't know.
I honestly
I just
didn't
thought
get
it was like in my brain, they just melted into the wall. I
I
don't
had
know
a
about
real
you.
hard time with the setting that they were in, but the second book, I believe, will be out of the underworld, is what I'm hoping. So I haven't read the second
Yeah,
one
okay,
yet,
good.
but I'm thinking they'll leave the underworld, they'll go back to the world that we know. It is the same spice level as the first setting, so there's a couple of good scenes. It's very, like they say cock, but it's very light and spice, but it's fine, guys, because the plot is delightful. And I did get fanny flutters because they built up the tension for so
Mhm.
long.
Fantastic for tension. Fantastic. It's
And
definitely
I
a
just want to
full
say,
fantasy girl book.
yes, yeah, it is not easily digestible. I do want to say, I obviously need to read more blood sharing, feeding, because it was in Bride, and I remember in Bride I lost my shit, but they do it in this, and fuck me, did some things, did some things.
You were a lepriologist as well, but your
I was.
butterflies were in your
Well, they
vagina.
were, and so the last
Queen.
one, I've been on a reading absolute hoon. The last one I want to talk about, and I also want to publicly call out. Hang on, I'm trying to record this because I think it's funny. I think I'm funny.
Do you have your phone?
Yep, I'm just trying to work it. Here we go.
Or are you screen recording?
The last one I have read, and this is a reread because I have read them before, is These Fates That Bind Us by Rachel Talk. Oh, close to the
Sorry,
microphone.
can't
I was
hear you.
leaning back. I was like, oh, can't hear you. These Fates That Bind Us by Rachel Talk. So it is a fae fantasy book. It is so digestible. So we all recognize that there's wingspan, sensitive wings, princess with lost power. They are short and snappy, but they are so easy to get into. You know, like I was so surprised how quickly I was in. They're short. They're only like 300 pages. Just such a digestible, easy, quick, great read. But it's unfinished.
How many?
One, book two. And then I got to the end of book two and had forgotten because I was like, oh, I loved that series. I've obviously bought them in paperback, which means I'm going to reread them. So I'll reread them. I get to the end of book two. She's not there.
Did
They're
she just
separated.
not publish the next one?
No. So what I did, I jumped in her DMs. So I mistake early. I called it early. So I was almost finished finished the first one. I was halfway through the second one. And I thought, I remember what Danae had told us to message these authors when you enjoy their books because they're people. So I messaged her and said, oh man, this is a banger. No notes, 10 out of 10. And she was like, oh, thank you so much. And then I said, Rachel, it's not finished. And she was like, I'm working on it. But she's come out with another book since. She's got another book coming out. And I just politely said, could you go back to working on it? Could you just focus? She's bringing out a new book, which is a different series, but I just reminded her very politely if she could. Nope, smack my phone. If she could just finish, that'd be great.
That's hilarious.
Have you read the series?
That's so funny. No, I haven't.
So good. And
I've
also,
heard about it. The
sexy.
Fates That Bind Us. I've heard this title repeated
so
throughout.
good.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, maybe I won't give it a go, Sam, because it's not complete. Okay. Well, maybe I'll just wait. Like, if you just let me know when the last book is out,
I'll keep you all updated.
That would be great.
Because there was nothing,
Yeah.
there was no title on Goodreads, nothing. So I did what you thought. I was like, oh my God, did this not like go well and it's going to be stocked? Because this is
Or,
great.
like, my brain also is like, did the author die? Did they just die? Because that is like an irrational thing that I have. Like, imagine if you wrote a series and in the middle of the series you just died and no one could even finish it.
I'm
going
gonna
to
ask
unfinished series.
next time we have Kelly on, I'm going to ask her, would you ever, because in my brain, I'm like, write the first two books of Hidden Valley, then bring out another book and then give us the third book? Like, it's outrageous behavior. It's outrageous.
I can kind of understand it probably from a creative exhaustion. Like,
Maybe you
to
need to
bring out
take a
the
break.
best, to give the story the best chance at cultivating, I guess, in your brain, then you might have to just move on, get some of those urges out in another story and then pop back into it, you know?
Alex Astor is the worst for this. I have a real bee in my bonnet about this because, as we all know, I enjoy the series. Mara does not, but she's come out with 2 other fucking books, 3 books since.
Well, she's come out with another book.
Another book. Yep. So she's had 3 books.
My thing about this particular author is I think that she really adds to the whole idea that books are fast fashion, or it feels like a business to her. And props to you. Support women-owned business. I totally
Buy the books.
I totally get that. But as a reader, it feels like I'm being sold to, and it feels like you know how she bought out her Summer in the City one and it had special editions. There were 5 different special editions you can get. And then it's like, oh, but if you get it from here, you get it from here, you get it, you got it from different places. It causes this urgency in people to buy
Great
multiple
marketing
copies of it. But
for
it
sure.
just feels a bit because I just think that the book business has become, do you know what I think it is? Okay.
Here we go. Tell us what you think it is.
Here we go. You know, when we were teenagers and we had like those girly teen magazines and stuff like that, and it was a massive market.
Dolly
Teenage
Sealed
girls are a
section.
massive market, and they don't really do that anymore. And we've grown up, and now our massive market is the book world, and it feels like businesses have found that and now are monopolizing it. And it
Exploiting
just,
us.
yeah, it does feel a little bit exploitive. I'm not going to lie. But also then I'm in like 2 minds because I'm like, there's a lot of females who are running these businesses, these authors who are making bank. And I love that. Yeah, it just feels predatory.
And I think it's
at times.
definitely marketing that you're waiting for this release to come out. People enjoy your book. So you bring out more books to get them into those series. And then you finish off your last series. Then you bring out the next book. But I think I've said before, I hate the whole waiting for the book thing. I hate the hype. I remember doing it for Twilight. I don't want to do it as a bloody adult, but I'll do it for you, Rachel Talk. I'm waiting for that third or fourth. I think it could be finished with one more in my head. I think it's got one more in it. I wouldn't do any more.
Yeah.
Really good. I really appreciated after reading the Songbird one, getting into a story so quickly. I was like, oh, thank God. I don't have to try and visualize what level they're at. How do they get back? And like, yeah.
I agree. No, I agree. It's a very jarring, imaginative world that you're trying to conjure. It's just like it's like, when you see those reels and it's like you walk into a room, he looks into your eyes, his eyes are blue, and you're like, oh fuck, okay, and then you've got to like rub out what you saw, and then you like rebuild the man, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
and then there's
We'll do this
stairs
again.
next to you, and you're like, where did those come? Okay, let's start again. It's like that the whole way through.
And like some bits, because it is so descriptive, some bits I imagined so clearly. And I was like, yeah, I'm with you. And then it kept going. And I was like, oh, no, you've lost me.
Nope,
You've lost me.
And then you
So
got to go
there's
back and, yeah.
10-foot panther there who's a shadow, but he's kind of see-through, but his paw is covering the whole of the bridge. So then if the bridge is small, then he
He's
actually
not
must be
fully
like 30 feet
transparent. I
tall.
guess it's opaque,
Yeah.
and it must be opaque smoke, but if it, like an 80 denier.
So you can see through him, but he's see-through, but I can't see the wall. Like it's,
Yes, yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, quickies.
okay, Mitre 10 or Bunnings. I feel like you can only be one, and I feel like you it's one or the other. You're not going to both. No one is going to both.
No, I wish Upper Hutt had a Bunnings, but we don't, so I am Mitre 10. But I have gone down to Bunnings to get a few things that Mitre 10 just don't have. Although I suppose Mitre 10 is the New Zealand one and Bunnings is Australian. So Mitre 10, because I'm a Kiwi. You're a Bunnings
Yeah, I'm
girl,
the
aren't you?
same. No, I'm Mitre 10. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with Bunnings.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's their layout. To me, Bunnings is like pack and save of hardware store, and Mitre 10 feels like Countdown. Like Mitre 10 just feels more
Okay, yes.
organised. It feels
Yes.
more upmarket.
Yes,
I don't know if
yes.
it's to do with
I
the
would
fact that
agree.
Bunnings is dark for some reason. Bunnings is fucking really dark, and
so dark?
Why is it
I
so
almost wanna
dark
take
in
a
here?
headlight.
God, it's so dark, and I can never. The checkouts are always closed. There's like, there's so many
it's
checkouts.
always self-checkouts. I've always
Yes.
only seen self-checkout.
And like I'm going there to buy with my husband, obviously. I'm not buying anything. Big pieces of wood usually, right? Or like long pipe things, stuff. And like, what do? You just beep it through self-checkout. And then we went to the help desk, and then he was like, oh, yeah, over here. And I was like, but it says information, but are you check? Like, it was just a fucking shit show. And then they
It's
have
a
someone
shit
at the
show.
door checking your receipts,
Yeah, that's weird.
which feels like the warehouse or Kmart. So then do they get a lot of
Yeah.
theft then? Like, Mitre 10's not checking that I paid on the way out. They're just saying, have a good day. Here's
Mitre
a lot of
10
sausage on the
doing
way.
the trade. Mitre 10 doing the trade part. But that's
Yes,
'cause
that's
you
right. As you drive
in,
out,
and
yeah.
that's totally different. And they're great. Yeah, I love our local Mitre 10. Just has some lovely personalities in it. We took our dog in before he got neutered, and we've since adopted him, guys. He pissed on multiple things, and they just gave us the bucket to clean it up. They're like, oh, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
We wouldn't let dogs in if we didn't think this was going to happen. You just have to clean it up. Just ask for the bucket. So we did that. We've yet to take him back, but they were just so lovely and chill about it. They're like, he's a
And
dog.
it's light. You can fucking see. Why
And the
is hunting so
cafe
dark?
is really nice. It's Columbus. Like, often people just go to the cafe.
Yeah,
The playground
Petoni's
is like
really
a great
busy,
playground.
but the coffee's shit in Petone.
Yeah, no, Upper Hut Columbus is actually pretty good.
Because I quite often go to the Up at Columbus for lunch. When I
Yeah,
see my mum.
same.
Yeah,
We've
we
never
have lunch
been
there.
together before. Maybe we should have lunch
We
there.
should go there.
I also love the Upper Hut Mitre 10 clearance plant section. I got a thornless boysenberry plant from there for $10. They're usually like a
Bargain.
$30 plant, and it is thriving. It is fantastic. Best $10 I ever spent.
Next one. Are you celebrating Halloween?
Yes.
What are you
Ash.
doing?
So we do in our house this thing called Halloween hallway, and we decorate the hallway. We've got like a downstairs hallway that springs off into different rooms that are kind of like, it's kind of like a guest wing. The girls' clubhouse is down there, and we decorate the hallway, and then we have different family members. This is like just for the family. And then we have different family members who hide behind each door, and the kids go down and they can knock on the door and they trick or treat at each door. And then we just have some kai and enjoy it. It's just a good excuse to do something fun for the kids, so they don't feel like they are missing out. Because a lot of kids trick or treat, and we've just never been okay with it. I was never allowed to trick or treat. My husband was never allowed to trick or treat, and so we want them to still have these core memories, but not necessarily do it the
Knocking
same
on the
way.
door.
Yeah. What about you?
An
From
American
the best setup.
Matt. He's got a go up that says, "Oh shit, Lizzie's very promising."
Yeah, I've got
Down.
I've actually got half of Sam's Halloween stuff just stored at my house, and I think she's like, use it, but actually she's just like, store it there until I want it.
Until I'm ready. Because we haven't got. We don't have to.
So
keep buying
super
more.
cute. I think you could do the skeleton on the porch, and it would be
Yes,
fine.
I think
Ooh,
I'm going to sit him. I think I'm going to sit him in a chair with something, I don't know, something funny written. But our nieces are young for Halloween, so we're not doing anything with them. Oh my God, she's gone. She's just yeeted out of the building. Hello, it's me you're looking.
Hello from editing Tamara. I plugged in my charger and it ripped my laptop off the stand and ended the podcast episode very abruptly. But I hope you enjoyed this episode of A Little Bit Lit, and we will be back next week talking with a New Zealand author. Thanks for getting lit with us.